everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome. I am so excited to show you how to make this card today. I'm using Abrielle clear pockets and I am going to make a clear shaker card. I did not get this idea on my own. This idea came from Jennifer McGuire. She's so talented, and yes, I copy stuff that she does because why recreate the wheel? And that's what we should all be doing, is helping each other be creative. So the white piece of cardstock I put underneath is cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I used a little bit of adhesive on it and adhered the clear envelope down to the top. Here I'm just using the fuse tool that you can get from We Are Memory Keepers to fuse all 3 edges around that white piece, and I left the top open. So now what I have to do is get the trimmer and just trim away all the excess around the edges on the outside of where I fused the edges of this plastic. That tool is great. It melts the plastic together and gives you a nice solid seal if you do it nice and slow. Sometimes I go a little too fast and my seal breaks, and so I have to go back and add a little more heat to those areas. So I've just used my Stampin' Trimmer to trim off all those edges and the top extra flap, and now you see I have this nice perfect little pocket, and I'm going to do some stamping. I'm using the Snow Place stamp set today and the matching framelit set from Stampin' Up, and I'm using some white Stays On pigment ink. This ink will dry permanently, so you don't have to worry about it smearing on your plastic. So I'm just stamping these snowflakes all over the front of this plastic card, or clear shaker card, to create a really fun wintry look on the front of the sheet. And really, I have to say, throughout the whole video, the video really does not do this card justice when it's all said and done. There's just a little bit too much glare on the plastic, and then that creates problems. I'm using my heat tool to heat set the snowflakes on the front, and they're nice and dry and they will not smear. So I can go ahead and add all my stuff to the inside and to the front of this, and get this card finished up. So I'm just using Memento Tuxedo black ink to stamp my penguin, and I actually ended up having to stamp this penguin twice because it has, whenever you're using solid images, sometimes the black doesn't cover every image, or every area, so you have to go back. And then I'm using Tempting Turquoise on the same sheet of Whisper White thick cardstock to stamp my sentiment, and the Tempting Turquoise to stamp this little Santa hat. And then I am going to run all of these through the Big Shot, except for the sentiment. The sentiment I'll be trimming off using my Stampin' Trimmer. So I love these framelits. They're super cute and they coordinate so great with this stamp set. So if you want this for your Christmas card, you can pick it up in my online store. It is available and it's not on back order. So it's available and ready to be purchased. Okay, so I'm just getting all these lined up, and then I'm going to run it all through my Big Shot, and I'll have my pieces all cut out, and then I'm trimmed that little sentiment off of the end there, and I'm using my triple banner punch to just punch the ends to give little flags, flag pieces, I guess that's what I always call them a fishtail, at each end of the sentiment. And then I decided it needed a little more. You'll see here in a minute. I felt like it needed a little more than just the sentiment, so I ended up adding some silver glimmer paper. I went to use my Xyron machine to make these stickers to put on the front, and I realized that my penguin would not fit through the Xyron machine, so I ended up having to use tear tape on the back of the penguin, and then I was able to just use my Xyron machine for the Merry Christmas, the hat, and the silver glimmer paper. I do want to say today I am heading to San Diego, and I will be going to the Onstage local event with Stampin' Up! In San Diego, so I'm super excited about that. And then we're going to be going from San Diego to Anaheim to Disneyland, and it'll be a lot of fun. So next week is going to be a fun week of Disneyland posts. I'll have a couple Disneyland projects and some pictures for you guys. of my adventures from the week. So also I want to mention to make sure to sign up for my email tutorials over on my blog at loveandstampin.com. You can do that by just going to my blog and then putting your name and email at the top of the screen, and you'll be able to get my free tutorials there. And you want to do that before November 30th, because I'll be sending out a 12 days of Christmas free printable tutorials and videos every day for 12 days. So that starts November 30th. Okay, so I'm just getting the silver glimmer paper sticky on the back, and you could just use regular adhesive if you want to, but it was easier for me to make it into a sticker so I could make sure it stuck really well to the front of this clear shaker. And then I'll go ahead and add my sentiment, and I'm almost set. Now I just have to add sequins to the inside of this cute card, and my gift card. So I have sequins here from Simon Says Stamps. They're craft metally sequins, and then I also have some from Lucy Abrams. The thing I love about Lucy Abrams sequins is they have so many different shapes and sizes in her little bags that she sends. On the back of this gift card, I am just putting a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I think it's cut at 2 inches by like 3 1/4. And I'm putting a note on the back of here. This is going to be a Christmas gift for my father-in-law. So I just added a note from our family and signed it, because there's really no other way to sign or put a message on these clear shaker cards. If you were to write it on the back of the card, you would see through to the front. So really attaching it to the gift card itself is the only way to do that. So I'm just adding a few of the sequins from Lucy Abrams here, and then as I look at it, I'm deciding which ones I wanted to add from Simon Says. These sequins here are fairly inexpensive. The one from Lucy are pretty pricey. They're $2.95 for that little bitty bag. Granted, her sequins are awesome. They're better than anybody else's I've seen, but they are costly. So I try to use smaller amounts of them and mix them with cheaper sequins. So these ones are about $1.99, I think. You can get them for $1.99, $2.99, something like that, and you get them a lot of them. And right here you can see where my sequins falling out the side of this clear shaker bag. And so I did have to go back around the edges and remelt some of those spots, and that's just from moving too fast when you are sealing the plastic with the heat tool. So I stuck that gift card inside the clear bag, and this is almost completely finished. All I have to do now is seal up the top and go back around and fix those edges that I kind of made a mistake on. So now I'm just using the fuse tool to finish closing the top of this shaker card, and then I will be going around the edges where the sequins kind of started to fall out. I have to say this tool takes a little bit of finesse. It takes a little getting used to. You have to really hold it at an angle so that the metal piece will turn evenly, and I tend to put too much pressure when I'm doing anything. I'm heavy-handed, so actually the lighter touch you use on this tool, the better it works. And then like here, I'm not even using the guide. I just went around the edges and did it myself. So I'm just trimming off all that excess off the top where I closed the shaker card, so that I don't have all that sticking up, and that's my finished card. And then I did make another one for my cousin Shannon, who's having a baby, and I don't have the gift card yet, but I made her a baby one, and the front of this onesie says Snow Baby, because she's having a baby shower that is like wintry themed. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out my blog. Bye-bye.